catastrophe. Guess what? I'm the fun one for the end of the day. I've got some catastrophe for you, but I'm the fun one, so that's the good news. So what I would like to do, we're going to learn about the focus formula. How to use focus to get what you want, where you want, and when you want, and with who you want. I have several rules, though. I hope you don't mind rules. It is the end of the day. But first, I want this to be interactive. What is that? What I want it to be a what? Interactive. Very good. How about over here? A what? Interactive. Very good. And we must have fun. So let me hear everybody say fun. Fun. Very good. Got to wake you all up. I'm here to serve you. One of the things that I learned is when speakers get on stage and they get all nervous. How many people here get nervous when they speak in front of people who are on stage? Well, I got a trick for you. The trick is when you get nervous, you're making it about you. If you make it about the audience, and I say a little prayer, God, please flow through me and use my message to touch whoever that one person is that's here to hear it. And when I make it about you, my nerves go away because now I'm just a conduit. That's all I am. A conduit with some really good spanks. Also, I want you to promise me that with the stuff I teach you today that you will take action. Yes? Yes. Let me see. I will take action. I will take action. Very good. I also have a free gift for you for staying focused. Most people can't stay focused more than 7 minutes. Business owners are about 30 seconds because they're wearing 200 hats. So have you ever wondered, and you know those people, you know who they are, but have you ever wondered what it would be like if you woke up in the morning, you got ready, everything went perfect, the clothes fit right, it was the first outfit that you put on, you two men. I think the dean is here, here's his first outfit that he put on. So you get everything worked, you get in the car, you made every green light, you get to work, everything flows, everything on your checklist got done that day, all the priorities. Everybody that usually has problems didn't have problems today. The kids were fine, everything was great. Then you go out, get off work or in your business and you drive home and everything goes smooth. You get home, you kick back, you shake your shoes off, have a glass of wine and put on your favorite show. How many people wonder what it'd be like to have a day like that? Yes? Well, I have something that I've nicknamed since being a business coach called business ADHD. You know you have business ADHD if you can't see over the piles of paper in your office. Realtors, where are you? Also, you can't see the alarm clock on the nightstand because you have a stack of books of everything you're reading all at the same time. I only heard a few laugh at that one. Mine are magazines. You can't find your keys or your cell phone and you have to call somebody to ask them to call you. Who's done that? You know what I'm talking about. You can't find your keys or your spare set and you're running around and you're hesitant to ask your spouse for their set because you're afraid you'll lose those too. But then he kindly asked, have you checked the refrigerator? How many people have found their keys in very unusual spots? Yes, you know who you are, just admit it. Or you're in the shower. You get this great idea about how you're going to make money or this new thing that you're going to do or this follow-up that you're going to do or this new program you're going to run through the business school and all these great things, and then you forget what you're doing. Remember, you're in the shower. Get it? Okay. Or, how many people have done this? You stop at the stop sign and you wait and you wait and you wait and you realize it's never turning green. Yes? Okay, this side over here has done it a lot more than this side. 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs, and we talked about the entrepreneurs today. You don't have to have a business to be an entrepreneur, but 8 out of 10 of them have failing businesses after 18 months. Do you know why? Who can tell me why? Anybody? It's because, well, yes, they can't stay focused, of course. Did you write this talk? They can't get customers. And that has to, so what happens when you don't get customers? You don't have enough money. You don't have the sales to outweigh your expenses, as you heard earlier. But the biggest complaint that I hear when I'm working with business owners and my clients is they're saying, I just can't stay focused. They don't admit to procrastinating. They blame it on everybody else and all the other distractions, but they can't stay focused. So you're about to discover a way to create your own unique focus formula. and also how to create that day and that freedom that you deserve. Would you like me to share? Yes, I don't even need to finish. Would you like me to share a way to do that? Yes. Awesome. So, I promise you today, my promise to you, that by the end of this presentation, you're going to know more about focus than 90% of the people out there. There's a problem. And it starts on Monday. We get ready. First outfit, it's going to go good. We've got our to-do list. We have our checklist. We have our system. Everything's all laid out. We get to work, and the tiger shows up. You know what I'm talking about. Either your assistant or somebody calls. There's a problem. The dog threw up. The kids are sick. The spouse is saying that they didn't get fed that night. Then the boss wants you to do something right now. It's most important. And then 2 hours later, he or she comes in and says, I need you to do this because this is most important. Now you've got two things that are most important. Who knows what I'm talking about? This happens to us. This happens to everyone. You can't stay focused. Or you go on because you know you're supposed to get on social media for 15 minutes a day to do your engagement and happy birthday and I'm so sorry to hear about your loss and all this stuff. And then it goes 3 hours later and you're still there? This side knows what I'm talking about. So what is your number one biggest challenge? I have some forms that I'd like you to fill out, and I'll pass them out at the end. But what is your number one biggest challenge? And if you're watching online, click on the button below. But your biggest challenge, what is happening that is getting in your way of having that success that you want? What's going on that you can't grow, or not that you can't, but that you want to grow the business school bigger. You want to grow your real estate firm larger. You want to grow your business larger. You want to grow your speaking business larger. What's getting in your way? Or you want to spend more time with your kids, or your spouse, or less time with your spouse. He won't leave you alone. He keeps distracting you. Oh, wait, that's just me. Okay. What's getting in your way? Think about that, and then write that down when I pass this out. What is that problem now, if you have written it down yourself, or what is that problem costing you? Anybody? What is your number one biggest challenge, and what is it costing you? There's problems. There's challenges. Do you want to know what I hear? I'm stressed. I'm not eating. I'm not taking care of myself. I started my own business, and now I'm working 80 hours just to get out of working 40. Who's with me? Yes? So what is the focus formula? I'm also an ADHD coach, and I'll go into that in a few minutes. But the focus formula is something that I had to create out of need. My son was an ADDer. Well, he is an ADDer. But he had perfect grades growing up, but he was in private school. He had the right structure. He had the right people in his life. He had the right food. Someone else fed him. And it was really good. But then he got into middle school, and the teacher said he failed. And I said, what do you mean he failed? And they said, he didn't turn in his homework. And I said, but he did it. I was right there. I know that he did it. She says, you might want to get him checked for ADD. I'm like, him? ADD? Like, I was the one who's known the principal since kindergarten, not him. He never got in trouble. I didn't even have to put the little plugs on the wall, when he was little. Sure enough, we go in there, and they fill out the form, and they ask about, is he hyper? No. Is this, all the stuff about hyperactivity? No. And then at the bottom, does he get distracted? Does he forget things? Does he lose things? Does he seem to daydream a lot? Do you feel that he's lazy? Does he not lack motivation and all this stuff? And I'm going, yes. And then I went, holy crap, I'm the whole page. That's when I realized that I had ADD too, but I was almost 40 years old. So it was a miracle I got there by the time that I did. We went to go get medication for him, and we found out that he had a heart issue. So he gets into high school, and he's struggling now even more. And I created a formula for him because I started going to school for ADHD coaching so I could help him. And then I realized I was helping myself. And then I realized this is helping my clients because they're all business owners. And 80% of them could be diagnosed, but we won't go into that. But 80% of them struggle with the same challenges that people with ADHD do, which is procrastination, distraction, unorganized. You have piles instead of files. No one's laughing. It's this side? No? Pilers, let me see your hands. Yep, it's half the room, even the dean. So, but I created this formula to help people get through these challenges. So why the focus formula? Well, I did it for my son and I did it for me. But then I realized I was coaching all of these people in business, and I've got business skills. And I was giving them business skills, and they'd come back and they didn't do nothing. Why? Well, there's this happened and that happened, my mother-in-law and this, and then, it's a social media and I just don't get this thing, and how do I do a Facebook ad, and I don't know how to do this, and da-da-da-da. And it was the same story every week. But once I started going to ADHD coaching school, I saw a pattern and I realized what was going on. So now I could use these skills to help them with these problems to move them forward. So that's why I created it. The time is now. The time is now to get focused. Why? Well, we're not getting any younger. I don't know about you, but I looked in the mirror this morning and I ain't getting any younger. And if not now, then when? When? When are we going to start getting these things under control? There's something that I learned. Successful people learn from their mistakes, right? We hope. But what do really successful people do to learn? Anybody? They learn from other people's mistakes, right? Imagine that. Imagine if you could go through life and learn everything you could with other people's mistakes so you can move forward and you didn't have to make those mistakes yourself. Would it be okay with you if I shared some of my mistakes with you to help you move forward? Yes? Interactive? Would it be okay with you? Yes. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want everybody to stand up. Stand up. Raise your hands over your head. Turn to your right. Put your hands down and give the person in front of you a massage. The person on the end of the row is screwed. Okay, turn around so the last person on the other end of the row doesn't get hurt. Okay, now bring it back. Now look forward, don't sit down yet. I've got a quick exercise for you so you'll remember this. When I say on the count of 3, I want you to go, focus. Okay? Focus. That's what we're going to do all together. 1, 2, 3. Focus. This side. 1, 2, 3. Focus. This side. 1, 2, 3. Focus. Just the back now. This is fun. 1, 2, 3. Focus. Who thinks what side's more focused? They all think they're more focused. Okay, we're going to do this a couple of times, but I want you to remember when you hear that number 3, to focus. 1, 2, 3. Focus. Whenever you hear the number 3 in your office, you're going to focus. Remember that, because you're going to hear the number 3. And again, oh, y'all are good. Very good. All right, have a seat. Thank you. So who am I other than this crazy blonde to even talk about this stuff, right? My name's Shelley Mitchell. I'm a business coach, and I'm also an ADHD coach. I'm a nationally recognized speaker, at least I said so until I was. And then I published several books. I had 23 years running multi-million-dollar companies for other people. I'm a business major. I've got several degrees in business management, finance, human resource, and then my MBA in human resource, finance, all that good stuff. But when I got into the business world, I realized there was stuff that people didn't know. And there's stuff that the business school didn't teach me, right? You know what I'm talking about. They don't teach you about that stuff. They teach you the theory, but that theory doesn't always come into play when you have someone in your office screaming at you, right? When I started my coaching practice, why I started my coaching practice is I was a regional manager and vice president for a large property management company, and it was Thanksgiving. My son was having heart surgery, and he was in high school, and I had variance reports due that day. My manager, or the person overseeing me, called me at the hospital and told me that I needed to turn in my reports while my son was in heart surgery. That's when I realized I needed to start my own business. I was already coaching other people in the evenings on the side, people who wanted to be mentored, but this is when I decided I was going to make it a full-time business. I was determined because I had that income. I was a single mom. I had that income. I was determined to go out and make it. I couldn't struggle. There was no way I was going to be able to struggle. So I did have a 6-figure practice my first year. This is me. Aren't I cute? Come on, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Aww. Okay. I was 3 years old there. I was born to 2 entrepreneurs. They were Diamond Direct distributors in Amway when I was born. And I'm the oldest. I was born in Alabama, of 3 children. And what? Oh, yeah, focus. You're right, you guys got me. Of 4 minus 1 children. Y'all got me. And I came home one day at 4 years old. Now remember, kindergarten, I knew the principal, and I got paddled in 9th grade. And I was only trying to make friends. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just aggravated the teachers. People used to say, please don't bring her back when my mom would take me shopping because I'd get in like the middle of the racks and spin them around because it was so much fun. This is before ADHD was a diagnosis. This is when they called it a problem. I was a problem to people. Once I got older, I figured out ways and systems to get around it. I was smart, though. Well, I am smart. Who's smart here? We better have some more hands being raised, because you came here, didn't you? That was the first smart move you made today. But I came home at 4 years old, and I had a bunch of change in my pocket, going jang-a-lang-a-lang. Oh, that's the wrong song. Okay, so my mom said, Shelley, where did you get that money? And I said, I've been selling things. She said, this is her story. She ran to the kitchen to make sure all the small appliances were still there. And they were. And she said, where did you get this money? What did you sell? What had happened is I went out and picked up rocks off the street, washed them off, painted them with fingernail polish, and sold them to the neighbors as pet rocks. Everybody needed a friend. And since then, whenever I got focused. I could accomplish major things, but in between those moments of focus, I was a disaster waiting to happen. My dad used to pick both of us and whip us with the belt, me and my brother, like this back and forth. And that was for like throwing bricks in the neighbor's yard and all kinds of stuff. And I was little, I didn't know what I was doing. I don't break the law usually anymore. So, well, let me go back for just a second. As I grew up, I had a very volatile relationship with my mother. Now, this is not my funny moment now. My mother beat the living heck out of me. She didn't touch the other children. My parents got divorced, and I literally had to get on the stand at 14 years old and testify against my mother, or they were going to go make me live with my dad. Because of me, my mom lost everything. She lost the house, she lost everything. My dad got everything, including the kids. This is back in the 80s before men even actually filed for divorce, or men actually filed for custody. I still struggled being raised by a dad who he didn't know what to do with me. I needed a bra, I just had to go ask somebody else, So I ended up going to college and thinking, I got to get out of here, I'm going to go to college. And I ended up flunking out after the second semester. I didn't go, I was having too much fun. I was in the dorms and doing partying or whatever. And so I ended up joining the Army because I needed money for school. This is back in the 80s. I needed money for school, I'd lose weight, get in shape, all that good stuff. And basic training was pretty hard for me, but I felt accomplished now. They taught me ways to get focused, whether I liked it or not. Let me tell you, do not lose your weapon. The whole platoon will have to do push-ups. Okay? They'll teach you how to get focused. After AIT and everything was going great, I got stationed at Fort Bragg. My commander pulled me in the broom closet. No, he wasn't hot, but he pulled me in the broom closet to tell me, I'm getting ready to send you TDY to Panama to put up communications for some special ops we're having. Okay, great, good for me. So I go to Panama, and 6 days later, we decide we're going to invade Panama and capture Noriega. Remember when I joined the Army, they said I'd never see combat. So now I'm in Panama, the whole city's getting blown up. And I was like, wow, they handed me grenades. I'm like, what do I do with this? Last time I saw this was basic training. I didn't have to throw it, thank goodness. A few things happened, and I won't go into that because I'm limited on time, but one of the things that did happen when I was in Panama, as soon as everything was over, we were allowed to go downtown to the club. So it's the first day out, we go down to the club. I was with a few friends that I had from Panama. This is in March, so everything happened in January and February. So this is in March. We go in the club, and it's called My Place. You go downstairs on the first floor, underneath the main floor, and it's covered with glass. And we were walking out, and as I was walking out, I was in between this concrete brick here on the stairs, walking up, and next thing I see out of the corner of my eye is a car that says, Viva Noriega, and down comes a grenade. Blows up the whole club. 7 people died, including 1 American. Many, many more injured. The only reason I didn't get touched is because I was in between this concrete block. I turned around, there was glass everywhere and smoke. I couldn't find my friends now. I tripped over a guy whose leg was missing. I got down and I just took my dress that I had and I just started wrapping up his leg, and I just stayed there. I figured I was safer down here than I was anywhere else until everything cleared out. They came, they picked us up, all the help came and everything else, and we go back to the dorms, or the barracks. That next morning, I opened my locker and I just broke down and started crying. I didn't know why, I didn't know what was going on. My ears were still ringing. That was it. No one ever talked to me about PTSD. Nobody ever talked to me about anything. Now, do not pop a balloon around me. Like, any loud noises, still startle me 29 years later. So that was the first thing. So we get done with Panama. I go back. I'm in PLDC. I'm there for 60 days. Boop, you're going right back again to Saudi Arabia. Guess what? This guy visited this country in Kuwait. I remember writing my grandmother a letter, and I spelled it C-O-A-T-E. We're going to Kuwait. I didn't know. Who heard of it before that? So I was one of the first 12,000 soldiers over there, 60 days after I was in Panama with this explosion. Here I am. Remember, I'm not going to combat, they told me. So now I'm in Saudi Arabia, and we're getting bombed with Scuds every day. I'm way up on the front line, and I have some time, so I'm going to tell you a quick, actually a funny story. So we were the first company that was up on the main line. I was not in Kuwait. I was in between Baghdad and, in Baghdad, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia, right on the border. We called it Log Base Charlie. We're the only ones out there. Infantry hadn't even come. So we all had about 140 vehicles, and we're driving down this dirt road, and we all stopped for a bathroom break. There's hundreds of guys in our company and 4 women. So the women had to pee on the road, but no one was around, right? So no one could see, and the guys were over there. Next thing I know, while I'm like this, I look up and I see this entire battalion of tanks coming this way. They're French soldiers. Who knew tanks had horns? And then as soon as they heard the horns, you hear my sergeant going, Mitchell, I know you have something to do with this. And I'm like, no, sir. So that was kind of funny, and we met the French guys, and, it's international peacekeeping mission. So we were there for a while. But anyway, so I come back. Just explosions going on all the time. We didn't know we were coming back. It was very stressful, but I don't need to go in all that. I don't have a few minutes left. So here's where I got focused. After I lost my weapon the first time, that was it. There's me over here on the right in Saudi Arabia. This is us here in Panama. I have that flag at home off the commandancia in Panama. I also found this one sticker I wanted to read to you, and we have several here. How many veterans do we have here in the room? How many active duty military or military do we have here? What about families? Families of veterans and military. Could you all stand up? All veterans, active duty military, or families of veterans, please stand up. Can everybody please give them a big hand for their sacrifice? It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. Thank you so much. But I like this sticker. It says, never underestimate a woman with a military background. She's already learned what it's like to not have running water, to not have Taco Bell. She's already learned what it's like to be shot at left and right, or to trip over somebody with a leg that's missing. When she gets back into the real world, she doesn't put up with the BS anymore. She gets focused. She doesn't allow distractions to get in her way, whether she's got ADHD or not. Do you know why? It's because when you're in that situation, you learn what your values are real quick. All of the stuff that you thought was important to you, that changes. How you get focused is knowing what your values are. That's step 1. After I got back from Saudi Arabia, Cosmopolitan magazine flew me out and named me their first fun, fearless female. God, I wish I knew then what I know now, because now I know that was a big deal. But then I'm like, cool, we're going to New York. I didn't know. But that was super fun. We got to do all this stuff, and I was in the magazine. And here's when I came back. They made Shelley Mitchell Day on May 17th because it was my birthday. And then in between both of these, I get back from Saudi Arabia. I'm in a field training exercise, and it's all dark. And I come out of the van, and I step back right here, and boom, I go falling back off the 5-ton truck. I had bruises so big all over my legs, my neck, my back. I was just hurt. And I'm just laying there like, am I dead? Am I awake? What's going on? And then all of a sudden the door opens, and my best friend goes, "You dumbass, get up." And I was like, what? Am I awake? Oh, I'm alive. Okay, so I get up, and I'm like hurting really bad. And I go, and they're like, "Nothing's broken, you're fine." So after that, I just kept having pains with my neck and my back. Now here we are 29 years later. I'm lucky if I keep these shoes on for another 5 minutes, and I still have 19 to go. So I use a cane from time to time. After all of these years, it just continues to degenerate. I am going to the VA now and getting help. And I am a disabled veteran too. But this is warning, explicit and graphic. This is something that I have to get on Monday. This is something that I get every 6 weeks now, just so that I can stand here and be with you. I get epidural injections and injections in my back every 6 weeks. Now what happens with that? It causes weight gain. Weight gain causes pain. When you have pain, you get epidurals. Do you see this cycle? It doesn't work. But I do what I've got to do to get up. I could curl up in a fetal position and lay down and just cry and collect a disability check. But I want to be here with you. These are see these shoes? Aren't they cute? These are my no place like the stage shoes. This is my favorite thing to do, is to be here and share my story with people, because I want you to know that whatever's going on in your life, who got in an argument with their teenager this morning? Who somebody honked at him this morning? You spilled your coffee this morning. All this stuff goes wrong in our lives, but you've got to get back up and keep going. Because Prince Charming ain't coming. So get on your horse and let's go. Or Miss Charming, whatever, for the few good men in here. So after a few years, this is what happens. By my 30s, I'm 262 pounds, and I'm using a scooter. And there's my son. He was 50 pounds overweight, and he was about 13. That's 13 years old. I gained all this weight. I'm now on a scooter. My life is just, I had worked my way up for 23 years. I'm now a vice president of a company, working for somebody else, making them millions of dollars. I'm a single mom and working hard. How many single moms do we have here? Yes? Give them a round of applause. They should get combat patches. I have a shirt that says, "I'm a veteran and a mother. I ain't afraid of nothing." So when my son's 12 years old, my ex-husband at 37 years old drops dead in his recliner. Didn't know why for even 5 months. And then they said natural causes. Shortly after that, my house goes into foreclosure. We ended up having to do a short sale. I remember when I was getting ready to move back to Florida, and I was in Connecticut. It was in February. Who's been up north in the winter? Yes. Okay, shoveling snow. It was fun for the first year. And that was it. But there in Connecticut, I'm in my house. The movers had come. They took everything out of the house. They put it on the truck. And he comes in, and I'm looking around the house. He goes, "Mem, you're overweight." I go, "I know." He's like, No, the truck is overweight." And I said, "Oh, okay." I'm like, thanks, I'm like, okay. And he goes, "You'll give me $2,000 more or you don't get your stuff." And I'm like, "We haven't even left to go to Florida yet." And I'm like, $2,000? I borrowed the last $2,000 to pay for my dad. I don't have any more money. I didn't know what to do. I had lost my job. I'd lost my house. I'd lost my ex-husband. I didn't lose my dog, or that'd be a country western song. But only 3 people got that. Trying to lighten it up, because I have catastrophe, but we've been listening to catastrophe all day. I'm trying to make it better for you here at the end of the day. So we'd lost everything. I stared down at the wood floor, and it's cold, freezing cold outside, if you can imagine this. And I just put my hands over my face, and I just started, oh my God, what am I going to do? I realized that was that moment that I needed to get my poop together for this little boy. I needed to fix my body. I needed to do something. I needed to start working on myself. I needed to help him. He was already 50 pounds overweight and failing school. Tony's gone. We don't have anything. We're getting ready to move to Florida. I had to figure it out. So what happens? I knew what my values were. I wrote them down. I wrote what I wanted in my life. I wanted to lose 100 pounds. I wanted to have a great relationship with my son. I wanted to go to Paris and kiss the man of my dreams. That one's still left. Anybody up? But what I did is I had to add 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I added focus to it, and look what happened. We ended up creating a 6-figure business. My son, he was failing school and he got arrested, and then the next semester he ended up getting straight A's when I decided I was going to step up for him and step up for myself and step up for us because there was no one out there who was going to step up. Who here is waiting for someone to step up for them? How many people here say, I need more support at home. I need more support from my boss. I need more support from the board. I need better clients or better customers. As long as you continue to be that person, you will continue to attract those people. I had a coach tell me that once, and it hurt. And I had to step up because I was attracting people like me. We're now debt-free, and we created a $250,000 company, me and a 16-year-old. Between the two of us, we've got 5 books that we published in 18 months, and he got a TV show. He doesn't even like to talk. Now he won't shut up. Write this down if you have a piece of paper. Focus plus formula. Everybody can focus, but if you're focused on the wrong things, focus plus formula equals freedom. But there's challenges that so many people are chasing and facing. How many people relate to this picture? You get up in the morning, everything's going crazy again. The dog threw up, the cat threw up. You're trying to get everything. We work in our business, or we have our own business, or we work as leaders in our companies. We also try to have a personal life. Most of you here are involved in charity organizations. I met a few of you. You're doing all 3 things. Most planners have places for 1 or 2, not 3, not overachievers like the people here. We're facing all these challenges and we don't know what to do. We feel like we're the only one. So the focus formula is to help you plan, get focused, and then be able to profit. Whether you work for another company or you have your own business, you'll be able to increase your income. You'll be able to increase your focus. You'll be able to increase your free time. Spend more time with the people that you love and do the things that you want. So, how many of you know you have business ADHD if you buy another organizer or planner to organize that system or planner that you bought? You know what I mean. You love going to the Container Store, but you have no idea what to do with the stuff you bought. That's me. And if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. The bigger reason, and this was really cool, remember when I told you that I made that sheet of all the things that I wanted in my life? I don't know how this came out, but one of the things that came out, it says, I want to create a program for all the people in business so they understand what really happens in business, the real world business, how to really make money, how to really overcome those objections, how to really get through the distractions and procrastination. Not the stuff they teach you in business school. That's good stuff. They don't teach you this other stuff. I want to write a program that does it all and that teaches people about the real world. Those who went to business school, you learned about how to run a big company and you learned about stocks and all of this great stuff that I think everybody should have. I think everybody should have a degree in business. Yes. And then you should be in my program so I can tell you how it really is. No. Because it's true. They don't teach you about all the distractions and procrastination and the stuff that we have to deal with. But I wrote in this thing that says, I want to teach thousands of people about this. And I'm going, yeah, it sounds good. It's fluffy. This is an exercise I'm doing. 5 months later, I was at a happy hour. My spouse is the president of the Purdue Alumni Club, and I was talking to this lady, and we're having a great time. But then the next day, I get a call. She goes, hi, this is so-and-so, and I'm the director of the Center of Leadership for da-da-da-da-da college, and we want you to come in and help us create programs for the real world. I was like, holy crap, this works. I went in, and when I told my story, the whole board had tears in their eyes. And they were really excited to bring me in, and I was really excited. I ended up creating my own program, and I put 180 people through that, and I've coached thousands of people to this date on how to get focused, how to get the things that they don't know. One of the reasons people procrastinate is because they don't know how to do the next step. I had to create my own planner. I have planners. I have every planner. I even certified to teach the Franklin Covey planner program. That's great, but you know what? It has too many steps for me. I can hire an organizer, and she'll come in, and she'll put in all these beautiful boxes with bows, and, the storage space, and everything will be great. And then she'll come back the next week, and all my stuff is right in front of the boxes. You know what I'm talking about, right? She goes, I don't understand. Why can't you put it in the box? Put it in the box. It was one step too many. That's what a lot of these planners were having problems with. You want me to put A's and B's and Z's and C's next to everything too? I don't even know where they are. So I had to create my own planner that was for real life, for people who put on events, for people who had business, personal, and charity, that other third piece of their life. How that they could focus on what's most important, what's the thing I need to not forget this week, like my kid's birthday. That was today. Uh-oh. Some of you know what I mean. You're running to the store to get a cake because you actually forgot. What's different about the focus formula and this formula that I'm teaching you is that it's unique to everybody. I'm going to teach you the formula, but it's going to be different for you versus you versus you versus you, and I'll tell you why. You know you have business ADHD because your planner is so chaotic that it needs its own planner. Who knows what I'm talking about? I should have a contest for the messiest planner. How many people think they would win? 3. Come see me after I have a prize for you for admitting it. There are myths, though, okay? There's a lot of myths. People think this stuff doesn't work. She's just fluffy, just talking, she's a speech, this is a TED thing. Yeah, it's fluffy. You know what? It does work. Well, that's great, but it's not going to work for me because I'm different. Not only will it work for you, but it will work for you very well. I don't have enough time. That's the whole point, right? I hear that all the time. I don't have time. I go, that's the point. It's going to take time away from other things. Yes, it will. It's going to take time away from the things that you shouldn't be doing anyway. So you can spend time doing the things that you want to do and that you love to do. It's going to cost too much or I can't afford it. That's what I thought when I spent $5,000 on the Franklin Covey training program. I need more support at home. Don't we all? Again, Prince Charming's not coming. I need to get more clear first. You do. You need to know what your values are, and we're going to go into that in just a minute. I just need to get organized. Amen, sister. We all need to get more organized. But there's a way to get organized just for you. If I come in and put those boxes in your house, some of you are going to put everything in the box. Some of you will never make it to the box because it's one too many steps. You have to have things in a certain place, and it has to be based on the way that your brain thinks. That's why there's no cookie cutter way or system for you to get organized or focused. 1, 2, 3. Focus. 1, 2, 3. Focus. See, I got to get to focus. I see some of you like, woo-hoo. There's 5 steps to focus formula. Number 1, focus is a formula. It is unique to every person. It is a unique formula to every single person, and it includes the first step to it is values. You have to know what your values are. Here's a perfect example. I did a program recently, and I had a lot of promotional products people in my program. Do I have any promotional product people here? So promotional products people are very lively and outgoing, and they like people, and they like to have fun. Every single one of them, one of their values was fun. Every single one of them were 3 years behind on their taxes. And why? Because one of their values is fun. Doing taxes does not correlate with fun. So I had to have a tax planning party. They all came, brought wine, and guess what? We got their taxes done. Because I figured out what their brain style is and what their values are. Another client, she has a dog named Biggie. It's 3 pounds. She wanted to take Biggie to the dog park. I want to take Biggie to the dog park every week. Biggie never got to go to the dog park. She couldn't understand why. I looked at her values. None of them correlated with Biggie going to the dog park. But then I saw health and fitness. Well, if we can figure out how to connect Biggie's day at the dog park with health and fitness, Biggie will start going to the dog park. Guess what? When we figured out how to correlate that with her values of health and fitness, Biggie started going to the dog park to meet with the bigger dogs. She wanted to do it, but she kept putting it off. So the number 1 reason people procrastinate is what? It's because you're trying to force yourself to do something that's not along your values. But guess what? We work for other people, and there's sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do. So you have to step back and look at it and figure out how you can correlate and connect it to your values. Doesn't that make sense? Did anybody get an aha with that? Think about some of the things that you're procrastinating with and how it doesn't connect with your values. Cleaning the garage, guys. But if you knew that it was connected to one of your values, it would get done like that. The number 1 reason people procrastinate is because they're trying to force themselves to do something that's not in line with their values. Does that make sense? Do you see how that can help you? Yes? Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Awesome. The formula is, which you don't need to write down right now, is values plus your mission and plan plus limited measurable resources plus your talents and a system. And we'll talk about that more. The number one thing with focus being a formula is the number one essential practice that CEOs and other really highly successful people have is they have a formula and they have a system that works for them. Just because it works for him doesn't mean it's going to work for him. His system may not work for you. Richard Branson is the number one top, most famous ADHD person that I know. And there's things that he can't do. But he has a team. He has a system for that picks up that slack. Does that make sense? Let me move quickly here. Dawn Burke is a client of mine. And I want to show you this as a couple of case studies. When I met her, she was a very focused person, but she wasn't making enough money. She had QuickBooks, she'd used Quicken, and she couldn't understand what was going on. She needed to track her income. What I did was create a very simple spreadsheet for her that helped her track her income, and now she knows to the penny what she's making, what she's not making, and she's continued to increase her income. She made an extra $2,000 the first month. Every year, she's increased her income by 20%. All because of this very simple system that I created for her, because that's what she needed. Some of you would look at it and go, wouldn't want to do it. So, number 2, overcome obstacles. There are different types of obstacles, though. There's internal and external. Internal obstacles have to do with that procrastination. Internal obstacle might also be, I don't know how. External obstacles are like your mother-in-law, your boss, the bus. For example, you work from home, you're trying to do the books every day at 3 o'clock. The kids come home at 3 o'clock, so you never get the books done. Well, it's simple. You may not see it because you're so close, but we changed that for you to do the books at a different time because you're never going to stop the kids from coming. But people they keep racking their brain around this stuff and they don't understand why it keeps happening. There's physical and mental. Mental could be anxiety, depression, and other things like that we're not going to talk a lot about here. And then the physical, you're tired, you're hungry, you're in pain. How many people here suffer from pain? I know many people here are over 40. You've got pain somewhere. Everyone's like, I know, 40. So knowing what the Oreos in your closet are, and I call them Oreos because if I was a health coach and I was going to work with you and we're going to lose 20 pounds and I come to your house, I take you shopping, we go to fix your pantry and everything's great and you're ready to go, and then we get together the following week and you didn't lose any weight. Well, what happened? Well, I did everything you said. We'll do it again another week. And come back, didn't lose any weight. What happened? Well, I did everything you said. But what really happened is at midnight, the Oreos in the pantry we forgot to get rid of were going, Shelley. Come eat me. Those are Oreos in the closet. If you've got things that are distracting you, then you can get rid of them. Don't keep them around. Number 3 is chi. We all know what chi is. There's some meditators here. But this chi is about your circadian clock. Your circadian clock is the way that your body functions. There's a time when your temperature is most highest. There's a time when your temperature is lowest. There's a time when your lungs work better. There's a time when you're most focused. There's a time when you can run faster and you're more coordinated. We all follow the same clock. We're just not all on the same time. Does that make sense? Some of you might start at 6. It ain't me. Some of you may start at 10. It ain't them. But we all follow the same process. I used to go networking at night, and I never got anything done, and that's because my time clock says social fun at 7 o'clock. I was having a great time at networking events, but I didn't follow up with anybody. So now when I'm doing serious networking for my business, I do it at lunchtime. Guess what? I don't do it in the morning. I know better than that. So if you find yourself networking and not following up, it might be that you're doing it at the wrong time. So you need to know what your circadian clock is. This is the clock. Knowing what your circadian clock is, consistency, and managing your energetic bank account. Now, there's something that I want you guys to know is focus actually uses glucose and metabolic resources. Say what? It's scientific. It is. How many people are in the afternoon or trying to do something, you're like, I can't focus anymore? That's because you used it all up on Facebook. or you used it all up listening to all the teachers complain about something, and now you've got to do this really important project, and you have none left. The only way to increase your focus is not the 5-hour energy. It's not stealing someone's Adderall or anything like that. It is, number one, consistency. That means going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, trying to do the same things at the same time. Number two, following your circadian clock, knowing what it is. And number three, managing your energetic bank account, which means if you got to have distractions, then time block them. All right, we're going to have all my distractions are going to come in the afternoon because I can't really focus anyway. And in the morning, I'm going to put a do not disturb. We go through this quickly. I'm just about out of time. Sabrina has a child with special needs. She always felt guilty she didn't spend enough time with him. She also didn't get the stuff she needed to get done. And she's a graphic design artist, and everything was late all the time. All we did was figure out what her values were, connect that to her schedule, change her schedule around her circadian clock. Health and fitness was on there, but she wasn't doing anything for herself. She now goes walking with her child every morning. When you have 20 minutes or more of cardiovascular exercise, you increase your focus for 2 to 4 more hours. Who likes that, right? So when my son needs to do his math, I say, go run around the block, and it works. So she now gets that exercise. She's getting more productive. She doubled her income in the first 5 months with those simple changes. Number 4 is unique brain style. Unique brain style means that everybody here has a unique brain. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. But you know, some of you here are visionaries. You see the big vision. How many people are visionaries? You're great at coming up with the brilliant ideas. But implementation and following through is a little difficult, right? All right, how about those people who need a checklist, have a checklist, and everything gets checked? But you have a hard time seeing the big picture, and you need to have people help you see that big picture. How about those people who are, you know who they are? They're very hard to find. They're stable. They keep everybody grounded. They make sure that no arguments are happening. They're the great assistants, or mothers if you have one like that. I wish I had one. So everybody's got a different brain style. The system we put together for the visionary is going to be different than the person that's a people person that goes to network versus the person that needs the checklist versus the person who's stable versus the person who's all details and analytical. Number 5 is systems. Now, we all need systems, right? I created a system in my book, How to Build Your List. How to build your list. It's got checklists in here, how to keep track of your social media, how to even do a webinar, what to do to build your list, how to follow up. It's got email templates and everything else. But guess what? If you're a networker and you want to go meet people, you may not follow this, but you can give this to your assistant or your friend who hates networking, and you guys swap. Where are you going? I'm not done. I'm just kidding. Have a great day. Okay. So everybody has to have a system, but you cannot have a system without FOCU. Without the formula, without knowing your obstacles, without knowing the chi, which is the circadian clock, and without knowing your unique brain style. You have to get tested. Otherwise, I could go get the same CRM that everybody says is perfect for all the realtors, or I could get a CRM that's perfect for all the deans, or I could do this and do that, but it's not working for me and I don't know why. It's because I didn't figure out FOCUS. S is systems. You'll get the systems down once you know that other stuff. The planner that I created has those things that work for me. But here's what I did, which was really cool, and this is how I map out my system. So think about this process. You create the planner, you give it to your people, you have them use it for a year, you come back, you not only ask their advice, but you look at their planners to see what they did with what they gave you. Well, no one filled this part out, but they over here, and they were making notes about this, and I saw 3 or 4 people, so I created that page for them. And then you recreate it, and then you put it out again for another year, and you test it with people. So that way, it starts working for everybody. Otherwise, you're going to have about 5 or 6 different planners at home. I had to create my own planner because I was putting on a lot of events. This is Lorianne. She's a clutterologist. She's my best friend. She's a personal organizer. She says that her dad has ADD and her mom has OCD, so she has LMNOP. She's very patient. She works with hoarders. I'm not a hoarder, but what do you call it? I'm a pack rat. Yeah, that's it. But she did a Groupon. She put out a Groupon and she got 79 orders in 48 hours. Everyone was like, great. Yeah, no. Now she's got to answer all the phone calls. And now she doesn't know what to do with all these people. Now people are quitting. People are dropping out. People are wanting refunds because they're not getting called back. I had to go in and create a system for her where she could create 2 techs, one who lived in this county, one who lived in that county, that had links to set up their own appointments because she was so overwhelmed. She was so overwhelmed. What's going to happen if you double your income and you get double the amount of business? Can you handle it? Can you handle the double amount of students that you have right now? Can you handle the double amount of listings you have right now? Can you handle the double amount of donors that you have right now in your nonprofit? Do you have the systems in place for that? Who wants to find their focus? Can I hear me? Who wants to find their focus? Me. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Focus. 1, 2, 3. Focus. Okay, everybody stand up. I see you leaving. I'm almost done. Come on, stand up. Raise your hand. Okay, now sit back down. Sorry, you're not getting a massage. Okay. Imagine this. Imagine if you could create a career or business around your strengths and your gifts and your talents. I finally did. School was not my thing. I got through it. I had good grades. I even got a provisional acceptance to Princeton. I just didn't have the money to go. The Army, as much as I didn't fit, it was good for me. It gave me that focus, helped me understand what my values were. But my gifts and strengths, I'm creative, I'm very mission-oriented, I'm a planner, I know how to create systems for other people. But when you want me to sit down and do my own taxes, it's not gonna happen. I can do yours. But I know what my gifts and talents are. Do you? Do you know what your gift is? If you don't know, ask these 3 people. 1, ask your mama, and if she's not around, the person who fit that role. 2, ask your best friend from childhood what you're really good at. They'll tell you. And 3, post the question on Facebook and see what people say. I'm serious. And then you're going to learn things about yourself you didn't even know. Here I am working from the boat. Because I'm great on the computer, I just need to be around the water. I know this about myself. There I'm at an event with my son when he was launching his book. He was in high school there. I'm with my boyfriend and we're some island somewhere. I think it's St. Croix. There I'm at another island. There I'm scuba diving. I have one where I like to skydive, anything that keeps me going and action-oriented. But I need a business like that. I cannot have a business that's the same every single day. Most people became realtors for that because they don't like things happening the same way every single day. So the 6-figure and beyond focus plan. Did everybody understand what we went through? Number 1, F is formula. Number 2, O is obstacles. Number 3 is chi. Very good. U is unique brain style. And S is very good. Very good. Okay. So with the focus formula, we've created that 6-figure and beyond focus plan for you. And the last thing that I have for you, because you stayed focused, is a very special gift. Everyone here who stayed focused, I have a form. Come to I'll either bring them down when I'm done, or come to my table, and I have a special gift for you worth $438, which even includes a ticket to my Money and Marketing Success Day. So those of you who need to do your plans for 2019 and the rest of the year, that will work very well for you. But I just wanted to say thank you. It was my honor to be here. It was my honor to work with We Ventures, with Erica and her staff. They've been great. Someone even plugged in my charger for me. Like, they're awesome. I even had my own parking spot. I don't even have that at my own events. I need to talk to someone about that. So thank you very much. And let's stand up when I say 3. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Focus. One more time. I want everybody. Put your purse down. 1, 2, 3. Focus. One more time. Where's the photographer? 1, 2, 3. Focus. Woo! All right, everybody, have a great afternoon.